Hey guys, Shauna and Tim from Beastanetics, and we're here to talk to you about lunges. Yay! One of our favorite lower body moves. We're going to show you 6 altogether. So number 1 is called a static lunge or a split squat. Prefer static lunge. So you're going to get into that split stance. And from there, it's just descend by bending the front knee and the back knee, and then ascend by extending at the front knee and the back knee. Very simple. I always think of it as you're like dropping down an elevator shaft. Now, for some folks, that is very difficult balance-wise. So we happen to be fortunate to have a grab bar in the back there. So you would hold on to that, find your stance. Now you're finding a wide enough stance so that when you're at the bottom of the lunge, that front knee is bent at about 90 degrees, and likewise the back knee is almost bent 90 degrees. And with all of these lunges, you want to exert control. So we don't want to fall into it. We certainly don't want to smash our back knee on the ground, but we want to feel as though we could stop the motion at any point, right? So if I said stop, Shauna could stop. It's like red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. And you're getting really good work in the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings. Great for balance as well. So that's the beginning progression, the static lunge. And let's just talk about stance for a second. Typically we go about hip width. When you tight rope it, which means feet are together, you're really challenging your balance big time. Not necessary because in real life we wouldn't do that unless we're in the circus. Lunging is often used in activities of daily living, for example, to reach an object on the ground. That's a little bit more of a reach, where the trunk comes forward. And it's used in hiking to step over a branch. And it's used in tennis to hit a forehand or a backhand. And in lots of other sports. Okay, so the forward lunge, and we'll look at this both from the front and the side, is a nice big step forward. As soon as the foot hits the ground, the knee bends, the hip flexes, the ankle flexes, the back knee comes to the ground. So what can go wrong? Okay, a lot. The first problem is that the front knee will cave in. And there you see it starting to cave in, and that is not good. So Shauna's going to direct it outwards, and now it's lined up with her ankle. Boom, and there she goes. Okay. The second problem is that we mentioned before you might just fall into it. So it's all momentum. You can't control it really. Yeah, the hips will drop. Sometimes you'll shift the hips, and that's not good. The third thing is it can be very disjointed. So instead of one smooth motion where all the muscles work in concert, it's hesitant. So there's a step, then there's a land, then there's a bend, then there's another bend. And we're just not quite sure what we're trying to do. Okay, so we're just trying to smooth it all out. And breathing is nice and relaxed. So from the side, here's your forward lunge. Nice big step. Perfect. Lunges can be loaded. They can be loaded with dumbbells. They can be loaded with barbells and body bars and medicine balls and kettlebells. If you're holding weights by your side, you just don't want to overuse your arms. If you're putting them up by your shoulders, typically that's going to get transferred to your legs. In Beastanetics, the external resistance is never mandatory, but some folks like to use it. And there's your forward lunge. Now, reverse lunge often feels better for a lot of people because there's a little bit less stress on the patella. So it is the same movement but stepping back. So now you see Shauna initiated with her right leg, and then she returns, and then the left leg. In terms of repetitions, we typically go 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or a minute, but if you were counting reps, you might want to go for 15 or 12 or 10. It depends what you're trying to achieve and what your fitness level is. So there's your reverse lunge. Okay, so those are the three basic ones. Then we're going to add rotation. So we'll get the medicine ball, which I believe is 4 pounds. And Shauna's going to step forward, and then she's going to rotate towards her lead knee. So working strength and mobility. Now, could she rotate towards the back leg? She could, but that's likely to cause her to lose her balance. So we typically rotate towards the front knee. Awesome. So there's your forward lunge with rotation. And then we're going to ditch that ball, and we're going to do 2 types of overhead lunges. The first one is just one arm coming up. And let's see if I can get that in frame. There you go. So Shauna steps forward, and she could try it with either leg, right? So this would be working in opposition. Left leg, right arm. This would be right leg and right arm. So either one would be acceptable. I tend to go in opposition, but that's just me. Okay, so with that we're working a little bit of the shoulder and into the serratus, and a little bit of mobility through the rib cage. And then our final lunge is going to be both arms up, and we can keep them there. So arms are up, and you may be holding some light dumbbells potentially. And now we're going to step into our lunge from this position. So this is kind of taxing for the shoulders to keep your arms up in the air that long. And also it's challenging balance a little bit more because you can no longer extend your arms, which can help. Awesome. Yay. So there's 6 basic lunges for you, and of course there are many more, and there are a lot of ways to load them up. But these are some pretty classic ones that we like a lot. And we hope you have fun lunging. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.